time to talk to the lovely Tanya Ankovic. Tanya.
Tanya, kia ora, good afternoon.
Hello.
Now, you're kind of like the Christmas fairy. I take that in a good way, Tanya. I mean that as a big compliment because you do Christmas big. It's go big or go home, and we're stuck at home at the moment, so that only leaves us with the first one, right?
Go big, absolutely. The most I've baked one year was 16 Christmas cakes, and they are big cakes. Us Dellies, we do everything big. So
I
they were big,
really love it. And I love your Christmas cake too, Tanya. It certainly is delicious.
I think there was a subtle hint, Tanya.
Yeah, maybe it was.
You will.
Hey, Tanya, have you done anything crazy yet though, like putting up decorations or maybe a tree? Just wondering.
Not yet. I do have a few decorations up here in my office, but we're painting tomorrow. No, hubby's painting.
Yeah.
I say the we, but hubby's painting tomorrow. So once that's done, then we'll put the tree up. So, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want pine needles in the fresh paint, really, do you?
No, that won't be a good thing for the painting, right?
So real or fake? Do you like a real tree with all those pine needle smells, or what's your preference?
Look, I used to, but I don't do that anymore, I must admit. I just have the old fake job now.
But they look pretty impressive. You can get some really good ones. And the great thing is reusable every year. Bring it out again.
Recyclable, and you just, if you want that pine scent, you just get some disinfectant or something, spray it around.
Absolutely. I like to have the Christmas baking. That's the smell I love.
Cinnamony deliciousness. Yeah. Hey, Tanya, we're talking about, quite a serious topic today, and that is the topic of big emotions because, there are a lot of big emotions out there at the moment. You're certainly seeing it on Facebook, perhaps on the roads with people driving. It's something that, people are feeling, and especially as we head towards Christmas and maybe that sense of the unknown, maybe people are feeling that even more so than usual.
Yeah, most definitely. I am noticing it, and as you say, we're noticing it on the roads even. So this is just a few tips. If you feel that you are going into this place of heated emotion, and if you go, it is angry, then here's just a few tips to help you along, because you don't want to just buckle it down, because what's going to happen is one day you're going to explode, right? And probably inappropriately. So look, just acknowledge that you're angry, acknowledge that it's coming up, feel it if you have to. But I also say, don't feel it for too long. Don't go into that place of really indulging in the anger, because we've got a choice on whether we want to stay there or not.
Yeah, I think that's great advice from the get-go. Acknowledge that you're feeling it, but actually don't sit there with it, because it can get just worse and worse.
Now, you say don't bottle it down, but sometimes there's a time and a place. There's sometimes where you're saying, hey, actually, I can delay my reaction to this rather than just flying off the handle.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if you're on social media, right? Or if you're texting with someone, just walk away from your phone, because that's when you get into that verbal texting. And it's, social media just does spark you up at times, doesn't it? So just, walk away from it, because you're in that heightened state. You'll probably type or say something that you're angry about, and, you may not even mean it. And I always think too, that anger often is that reactive feeling, isn't it? But often when we sit with our anger long enough, we discover that actually maybe what's really underneath the anger is sadness or grief.
I was going to say that, we're talking big emotions. Often they manifest as anger, but recognizing what the trigger factor is, because it might just be that we're tense or we're anxious or it's part of the grief process in some occasions.
Yeah, very much so. And, sometimes you won't realize that until quite a while later, or maybe even the next day when you've calmed down and you go, actually, this was what triggered me. It brought up a really sad memory. Christmas is coming. I'm grieving. Gosh, this has been tough. Yeah. And it may take a while, but often that doesn't come until you've calmed down, that you can really feel what is going on. And that is when you can make a conscious decision to go, I'm acknowledging this, but I'm now going to move forward and look at everything else that I've got in my life that is so beautiful that I've got to be grateful for, because otherwise we can stay in that dark place.
Yeah, certainly. I think perhaps when we do have these big emotions, going to God with them is often a good way to sort of take a deep breath and sort of give those over to our Saviour, right?
Absolutely. One of the things that gives me the greatest relief is when I realize that I've forgotten to ask God to solve the problem. And, every time I forget, and then I go, Lord, you take this for me. I know you can fix it. And it does work.
Recognizing that everybody's kind of got a version of this at the moment. There's a lot of big emotions out there. Giving each other grace and forgiveness for when we perhaps even accidentally step on each other's toes. I mean, as we head towards Christmas, even more reason to do that, right?
Yes, forgiveness for them and for yourself as well, because we don't want to carry that emotion of anger and resentment around. I mean, we're the ones that are hurting. So, turn your anger into compassion, or it might even just be a frustration. It could be anything that we've blown out of proportion. Just turn it around. At the end of the day, we are together in this, and we all want to have a beautiful, blessed Christmas lead up to Christmas. So, clean up all the little bits there that might be dangling that that you're hanging on to. Even if it's something you feel justified for, just let it go.
Some really great advice, Tanya, and a really it's a good time to sort of sit and reflect on some of those big emotions that we perhaps have been feeling, and just reflect on how actually let's not let them spiral out of control the next time round. Hey, thank you so much for your time today, Tanya. Of course, you talk on a lot of these subjects on your YouTube page, on different social media. How can people find out more about what you do?
Just Google my name, Tanya Unkovich, and then I'll pop up everywhere. So YouTube, social media, I'm there.
Tanya, thank you again for your wisdom on this important topic. Thanks for joining us.
You are welcome. Bye.